100 years ago, after the
It won't be safe.
our founders created a system they believed would create lasting peace.
You ready?
Anymore.
Following a catastrophic war, humanity nearly disappears. The survivors in Chicago establish a separate state to ensure their safety. The city's founders build a protective wall and divide society into groups. These groups are called factions and are based on 5 human virtues. Erudite values logic and knowledge. Amity focuses on farming and peace. Candor upholds honesty and justice. Dauntless serves as protectors and soldiers who maintain security. Abnegation teaches selflessness, simple living, and putting others first. Although other factions see them as poor, abnegation is trusted to govern the state. Those who do not fit into any faction are labeled as outcasts. The story follows Beatrice Pryor. She is raised in abnegation. Like all teenagers, at the age of 16 she takes an aptitude test to determine her faction. During the test, the administrator notices her unusual way of thinking. The result shows that Beatrice is divergent. She fits abnegation, erudite, and dauntless. Tori secretly alters the result to abnegation and tells Beatrice to keep it a secret. The core principle of the society is faction before blood. After choosing a faction, family ties must be left behind. At the choosing ceremony, the Pryor siblings make different choices. Caleb chooses erudite. Beatrice chooses dauntless, the faction she has admired for years. She looks at her parents one last time and joins the dauntless initiates. On the train, Beatrice meets Christina, a transfer from Candor. They jump onto the roof of a building. Commander Eric welcomes them and explains that the only way to enter is by taking a leap of faith. Beatrice jumps first. Her bravery surprises everyone. After landing, she chooses a new name, Triss. The recruits are separated into Dauntless-born members and transfers. Triss and Christina are led by an instructor named For. Christina jokes about his name. For tells her to be more careful and less outspoken. He explains the importance of the pit as the center of Dauntless life. Triss enjoys the freedom to express herself. They will live together in the dormitory for 10 weeks. Christina complains about the shared toilets and showers. For explains that in Dauntless everything is open. They burn their old clothes as a symbol of leaving their past behind. In the cafeteria, Triss meets Will and Al. They discuss the strengths and weaknesses of each faction. The Dauntless leader arrives and gives a speech. He tells them to be brave, confident, and proud of their roles. The room fills with cheers. Training is intense. They are trained physically and mentally. Eric trains harshly, unlike For. In one session, Triss fights and loses. She passes out. Her score is near the bottom. She fears being cut from the program. To cheer Triss up, they get tattoos. There, she meets Tori. Triss confirms that her choice is firm. She begins practicing alone every morning. For helps her identify weaknesses and improve her attack technique. Christina gives up during training. Eric teaches a lesson by hanging Christina over a chasm. He wants to show that Dauntless never gives up. For takes them on a tour to the city wall. He stresses the need to stay prepared. They pass Amityland damaged by the war and rumored to be dangerous. During knife-throwing practice, almost all of Triss's knives hit the target. Al struggles and drops his weapon. The commander notices the situation and orders all weapons to be collected from the floor. Al, afraid of getting hurt, refuses to comply. Eric responds calmly. He instructs Al to stand against the wall without moving. For then throws knives as close to Al's body as possible. Any flinching or movement means expulsion from the faction. Triss cannot bear to watch her friend under such pressure. She volunteers to take Al's place in the trial. With each knife thrown by For, the danger increases. Red liquid begins to trickle from Triss's ear. Eric acknowledges Triss's bravery and awards extra points to the young Dauntless. He emphasizes the importance of discipline in training. Triss is angry at For injuring her. She later learns that it was a deliberate intervention to stop the dangerous spectacle. Triss earns admiration and respect from her peers for her courage and for saving her friend. However, She also gains a new enemy. Peter, a transfer from the Candor faction, belittles Triss. He insults her chosen name, mocks her friends, and constantly provokes her. Tension rises when the erudite leader, Jeanine Matthews, appears at the Dauntless compound. Triss grows anxious, fearing that Erudite is searching for Divergents. During a combat session, Eric deliberately selects Peter and Triss as opponents. Forgives Triss guidance by pointing out Peter's weaknesses. Triss strikes first and lands a blow to Peter's throat. Peter retaliates with a brutal series of attacks. Triss is overwhelmed and loses consciousness. Before blacking out, she briefly sees Four leaving the ring. When she wakes up, Triss learns that she is facing expulsion from the faction. Determined to change the decision, she runs after the departing train. Eric is surprised by her determination. Four helps Triss onto the train. Eric ultimately allows her to remain in the faction. The commanders organize another competition for the initiates. They introduce a tactical game with the objective of capturing a flag. The teams are armed with training weapons that simulate injuries using short-duration neurostimulation rounds. As the captains assemble their teams, Eric prioritizes strength. Four chooses members who are motivated and agile. At the location, Eric takes a defensive position at the far end of the pier. Four listens to his team's suggestions regarding tactics and strategy. Triss takes the initiative. She climbs a Ferris wheel to gain a better view of the terrain. Four is impressed and joins her to provide support and assess the situation. As they climb, Four's fear of heights becomes apparent. A decaying crossbeam collapses beneath Triss' foot. Triss nearly falls. Four catches her and pulls her close on the Ferris wheel. Triss learns about Four's fear of heights and teases him. A playful exchange follows. They spot the opposing team's flag at the top of the lighthouse. Triss proposes a strategy. One group creates a distraction. Four confronts the opposing captain. The girls move in to secure the flag. Triss successfully faces Peter and Molly Ewood along the way and wins. She waves the flag triumphantly with her excited teammates. After the competition, Triss gains sympathy from members of the faction. They invite her to a simple Dauntless-style initiation ritual. Secured to a steel cable, Triss soars across Chicago. She can barely contain her adrenaline rush upon landing. Four congratulates Triss and praises her bravery. The first stage is complete. New trials await, symbolized by crossing above the red line as the Dauntless venture into the city for their assignments. Natalie Pryor takes the opportunity to meet her daughter. Triss embraces her mother and confides her secret. Mrs. Pryor confirms that Triss is indeed a Divergent. She warns Triss to be wary of Erudite and subtly suggests that the psychological test can be manipulated. As Triss enters the office, she sees Molly Ewood being escorted out. Molly appears disoriented and detached from reality. Triss undergoes the simulation under Four's guidance. She is urged to show courage in a trance-like state. Triss confronts her deepest fears and realizes they are only illusions. She regains consciousness after 3 minutes. Her rapid success leaves Four puzzled. He cannot understand how she overcomes her phobias so quickly. The aftermath of the psychological test leaves the initiates shaken. Triss' exceptional performance draws suspicion from her peers. Peter hints at her rapid advancement and her influence on others such as Al. During the second test, Triss finds herself trapped inside a sealed glass cube filled with water. With a firm strike on the glass, she shatters the structure and regains her composure. Four's curiosity continues to grow. He repeatedly questions Triss about her faction choice during the aptitude test. Triss insists that she is abnegation. Tori reveals that her brother was also a Divergent. She recounts how he conquered his fears using unconventional methods. He was later found dead at the bottom of a chasm. Tori warns Triss of the fatal consequences if her secret is exposed within Dauntless. Distraught and feeling out of place in Dauntless, Triss turns to her brother Caleb for support and pleads to return to abnegation. Caleb refuses to help her. Triss feels even more isolated. Jeanine Matthews encounters Triss on the stairs and invites her to the office with false warmth. In her office, Jeanine implies the existence of dangerous divergents within abnegation. She expresses hope that she can rely on Triss' loyalty if someone close to her betrays the law. Triss is escorted home by Matthews' chauffeur. Her return is marked by a violent attack at the Dauntless compound. 3 attackers, including her former friend Al, attempt to throw her off a cliff. Triss recognizes Al among them. For saves Triss and keeps her safe until morning. During lunch, Al asks Triss for forgiveness, but she rejects him. Shortly after, Al is found at the bottom of a deep pit. Triss blames herself for what happens. As Triss begins to trust For more, she reveals her secret to him. For suggests that she trained to face her fears as a Dauntless, not as a Divergent. Through this training, Triss learns that a person's number of fears is reflected in the name they choose. While witnessing For's final fear, Triss realizes his true identity. For is Tobias Eaton, the son of Marcus Eaton, the leader of Abnegation. The rumors about Marcus's abusive behavior toward his son are confirmed. This contrasts with Triss's father, who had long denied those rumors. One quiet evening leads to an intimate conversation between Triss and For. Triss asks For to show the tattoo hidden beneath his shirt. She traces the symbols of the 5 factions with her fingers. For explains that he does not want to be limited to one identity. He wants to have bravery, selflessness, intelligence, honesty, and kindness. He admits that he still needs to work on kindness. They embrace and share a kiss. Triss returns it, but asks not to rush things. The next day, For shows Triss that Erudite is moving equipment into Dauntless territory. He reveals a serum that can turn free people into obedient slaves. The serum has the potential to create a massive army. As the final test approaches, For and Tori wish Triss good luck. She then enters the fear simulation. Triss faces attacking crows and defends herself with a stick. She finds herself in a burning field, tied to a pole. The flames burn the ropes and scorch her hands. She cools them in a nearby swamp. Suddenly, she is trapped in a glass tank filled with water. She blocks the water flow with her clothes to avoid drowning. The events of the previous night trigger a new fear. She resists For's attempts to control her. She then snaps back to reality. Jeanine congratulates Triss on passing the test. Unexpectedly, she hands Triss a gun and orders her to shoot her parents. Triss pulls the trigger and fully wakes up. After the Dauntless leader's speech, all soldiers line up. Tracking devices are implanted by order of their superiors. Triss watches her friends put on Dauntless uniforms with blank expressions. Faction members stand in line waiting for orders. When one Dauntless questions the situation, he is shot in the forehead. Triss realizes that the serum does not affect Divergence. To survive, she carefully imitates the others. All soldiers are armed and loaded onto a train. Triss finds For and checks if he is under the influence of the serum. They exchange looks of relief and hold hands tightly. The train arrives in Abnegation. The Dauntless forces search every house and force the citizens into one central location. Triss and For head to Triss's parents' house. They manage to avoid the raids. On the street, they encounter Eric and his followers. Eric confronts Marcus Eaton and threatens to kill him. Triss cannot bear it. She shoots Eric in the leg, proving her humanity. The Dauntless forces capture them and bring them before Jeanine Matthews. Jeanine believes Abnegation must be controlled because it disrupts the faction system. She insists that Divergence must be stopped or the world will be destroyed. Jeanine takes For away and orders Triss to be executed. Natalie Pryor, Triss's mother who has defected from Dauntless, saves her daughter. While trying to reach Triss's father and the Abnegation leader, Natalie is killed. Triss searches for her family and finds Caleb with her father. Andrew Pryor decides to leave the faction after learning about Erudite's plan to destroy Abnegation. Triss looks at Marcus with anger. She tells her father about her mother's sacrifice. They lead the Abnegation members to a safe stronghold. Triss takes Peter hostage and forces him to guide them to the control center. Andrew Pryor fights the guards and suffers fatal injuries. Triss infiltrates the command center as Jeanine prepares to launch the Abnegation Purge program. To prevent interference, For is placed in a simulation. Triss faces resistance from For and activates one of his fears by simulating the killing of an innocent person and holding a gun to her own head. She whispers words of love and understanding until For regains control. While For fights the Erudite guards, Triss throws a knife and pins Jeanine's hand to the monitor. Jeanine refuses to shut down the program. Triss finds a way to take control of the system. Jeanine realizes her plan has failed. The program is erased, and the soldiers are no longer a threat. After subduing Jeanine, Triss escapes alongside her companions. They are cut off from both family and faction. What lies ahead is unknown. For now, they travel by train toward the last stop, and with that the story ends here. Divergent teaches that you should not let labels define who you are. True strength comes from understanding your fears and choosing your own path. Courage grows when you stay true to your values even when the system tries to control you.